feel like a lot of times people are just trying to get lucky. Now, that isn't such a crazy statement, but what I mean is this. That people are waiting either you're skillless, you have no skill, and so you're waiting for a stroke of luck. 2, you're super skilled, but you which that person is naturally inherently smart and intellectual, tends not to always put in the work, right? Because they feel already validated. So then they're waiting to get lucky socially and monetarily, etc. is what I mean here. And they enter into these gambly type situations instead of doing like a day-to-day routine, which is an issue, because we have people on the one end where we aren't hearing their experiences from, because they're waiting to get lucky and they're not building skill, and then on the end that's not skilled, and on the end that's super skilled but is not putting in the work, we are, our artists and stuff always emerge as like that middle group, right? So, and it's not the fault of the middle group that they're arising, it's the fault of the people who are not building their skill, and it's a fault of the smart and skilled people who are lazy. Right? And then, so this is, and I think this is crazy, but this interaction is how unfortunate economic systems are built. It's one metaphorical way to say why they're built. Because you get the people who are looking for luck, they're gaining permission from people who are lucky. And what I mean by that is, let's say investing, right? So investing, and to me, this is what I've noticed with people who invest. There's one person who gets lucky, and everyone else is like, oh yeah, cool, we could do this too. Now, that lucky person took a bunch of steps, and it seems like those steps got them to where they were, but really they just, they got the right amount of luck. Now, there's a certain amount of things you have to do in order to get lucky, but it's often that list is often a lot smaller than the things amount of that person did to get lucky. Makes sense? But we take in the whole list. They're like, oh, they did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So then you have a whole conglomerate of people that are working towards a system that didn't really work. It just was based on luck. But everyone's doing these steps. And then someone else gets lucky. Now, it's starting to be in the person who gets lucky's interest to tell people specifically it wasn't because he got lucky, right? Because the more he can keep this conglomerate of non-lucky and non-skillful people going, the bigger his pool of money is, right? So the more people investing in a thing, the more money there is going around, especially for the winner, the person who gets lucky, right? Now, and at some point, the luck changes when you have money, large amounts of money. You can actually manipulate things, right? Because when you have large amounts of money, that in some ways equals large amounts of people. So now you have two ways that the money is generated: the large amounts of people each putting in a little bit, or the couple of people who are putting in a lot. And so that actually does start to matter now, and then luck kind of goes out of it, and then it's just a simple matter of being able to try lots of things and win because you've done lots of things. So now we've got another person who is saying, oh, I did all these things, but it's in his interest now to keep other people and more money in the game. And it's another person to look for, and it's like, oh, they did all these right things, but first he got lucky, and then he used just the law of numbers, he just add a lot of money into the system, and sometimes you win if you do that. Right, so that's the rise of the middle, and that's why our artists and poets are often like, okay, that was 6 out of 10.